How do you avoid overwatering the plant but keeping the moss pole moist?
Very good question, and it's probably a question I get the most, or one of the questions I get the most.
For sure.
Now, of course, the fundamental issue over here is that you're trying to keep your moss pole moist, and the moss pole has a much larger surface area than the actual pot, and it's gonna dry out much quicker than the actual potting medium. So first of all, I don't actually water the potting medium in itself. I only water the pole, and I just let any excess water drip out of the pole into the pot. So there's no need to water the potting medium on top of that, because that might actually cause overwatering issues. But I also make sure that I keep the potting medium very draining aerated. So I have a very chunky aeroid mix, so any water just freely drains out of the nursery pot into the planter. I'll just empty that out. So I'm not really worried about overwatering because I know that my potting medium is aerated and draining enough to overcompensate for anything like that. Another thing I actually do is over the years, I've kind of gotten to know my moss poles really. I kind of order each moss pole takes. So I'm actually facing the opposite issue sometimes. I water the moss pole, but I only water the moss pole to keep the moss pole moist, not enough water to actually continue flowing through into the pot. So I've underwatered some of my plants because I just completely forgot to every now and then the potting medium.
Right. That's really interesting. But just to give this some context, what would be the problem with overwatering?
Most likely we're worried about root rot. Right? So roots need oxygen. It's funny if you think about it, because if you propagate something in water, you'd think that, there's absolutely no aeration while you pop something in water.
Yeah.
Water has a lot of oxygen, H2O. So there's a lot of oxygen in water. That's why you this overwatering issue when you actually just grow something in water. But what we are really referring to as overwatering and root rot is most likely a lack of aeration for the roots.
That's right.
Oxygen, meaning the roots are slowly going to die and they're going to get mushy, right? I mean, technically, root rot is caused by bacteria, but the lack of aeration and the, potentially sitting in water going to cause that bacteria to really thrive.
Yeah, that's right. I think that really needed to be explained, because it's not just the water. There's other things that play that you need to think about, and that aeroid mix is really just the sweet spot.
Yes, I mean, I know you're all about your Leca.
I'm all about the Leca, yes. But I do love a good aeroid mix.
I just feel like don't fix what's not broken. That aeroid mix has been working so well for me over the last few years, so I'm just going to run with it.
No, I mean, I remember back in the early days when you were still, oh my God, Sydney plant guy, and I would DM you and ask you about all these things, and that aeroid mix was absolutely super, and I remember I used that. So before I went to the Leca dark side, aeroid mix all the way.